quite sure how he was going to play. He hadn't hit enough balls in practice, whereas this year he's managed to get the matches under his belt, and therefore every time he steps out there he feels as though he knows where he is with his game.
Yeah, he knows who he is and he knows who he's beaten this year. I mean, you don't play a year and beat the #1 players in the world like Curtin, Agassi. I mean, he really has done well. Won San Jose, beating Agassi. And all in all, has had a very good year. He's got 10 titles in all, and 5 of those have been on this type of surface. Hard courts.
Anytime you beat a guy like Agassi in the final of a tournament, you know you've played well. It's one thing to beat Agassi early on in a tournament, perhaps you know, like Scottsdale this year when he lost to Clave. I mean, you can't really read too much into that type of result, but you beat the guy in the final, you've certainly beaten him.
Now, this is where Bjorkman got broken at 5-6 down in the first set. Played a slightly nervy game, and Rusedski took full advantage.
Sometimes just getting into the net is enough to put the pressure on the opponent, especially when you serve in a stay in the set.
The way he moves at the net makes it absolutely impossible, really, to miss the ball. Unusual in that sense. He looks ultra safe. Just moves in that extra foot that other people do not.
That was unlucky. Rusedski electing to hit his backhand and just a little late getting the racket head through the shot. Just took it out.
Wrong decision by Bjorkman. If in doubt, you play it. He knows that. Deja vu. This is how it was in the first set. 30 all. 5-6. That is some shot, because he risked going across in front of Bjorkman, and that is a dangerous thing to do, but he got away with it with brilliance.
Well, he did well with the return. Look at where he was standing. It was a good second serve from Bjorkman, deep, with a bit of pace on it. And again, Rusedski whipping that one cross court. Set point for a 2-set-to-love lead for Rusedski.
Keeping Bjorkman waiting. Nerves will jangle. They did, and Rusedski's got a 2-set lead. I just wonder why he turned away and kept Bjorkman waiting. I don't think it was gamesmanship, particularly. So busying himself, as usual. The ice in there. Well, that ice, I suppose it goes in the refrigerator at the back. Keeps cool, keeps his neck cool, and if your neck's cool, the rest of you helps the rest of you to keep cool at least. Takes on more water. Haven't seen the bananas come out yet.
Time.
Tell you something, I could do with one myself, Mark. Haven't eaten since breakfast. So the crowd is staying for this. Certainly the quite a strong British contingent, I feel there. A lot of support, of course, for Rusedski. And I'm glad to say there's support as well for Bjorkman. The Swedes always come round and support their players. And he's a very popular man, Bjorkman. Third set.
Love.
That's the best return by Bjorkman this evening. Really latched onto a wide serve there from Rusedski.
Had to play two rallies then. After that lob, faintly mishit lob, which landed in, I think Rusedski kept his cool very well. It's quite easy to panic, and I'm surprised that Bjorkman didn't follow it into the net. Well, he'll gaze and gaze and gaze, but if there's no call, and if he can't see anything, it was presumably on the line. It does tend to leave a mark, particularly if it's a bit humid. Rusedski's lucky in the sense that he's serving first in all three sets.
Oh, great shot again from Rusedski. He really is in superb form. He's been asked a number of tough questions in this match by Bjorkman, and each time he's come up with the right answer.
Yeah, Rusedski, new balls, please.
Did well to get out of that game, Rusedski, really.
First game, third set.
Bjorkman is going to win this match. He's going to have to come back from a two-set deficit, something that he's only managed to do once before against Wayne Ferreira in the '98 Australian Open. Lost the first couple of sets there, 6-7, 4-6, and then won 4-2 and 3.
Certainly these two have got cooler conditions now. And I would think a slight drop in the wind.
15 love.
Sometimes his second serve can look a little laboured, Bjorkman. big knee
Ladies
bend.
and gentlemen behind the court, could you move away, please? You're distracting the players. Thank you.
Be a fair few distractions on this court. It's right behind the food court as well. So at this time of the evening, 6:47 over here in New York, there'll be plenty of noise.
(30-15).
Incidentally, the winner of this match will play the winner of Zabaleta and Dent, the huge serving Taylor Dent. And at the moment, Zabaleta is 2 sets to the good, and it's 2-all in the 3rd set. And I would think if these two men knew that, they might be just a little bit relieved, because if Taylor Dent goes on a serving spree, he's almost unplayable on serve.
Bjorkman.
New tactics by Rusedski, approaching with an approach shot down the middle.
Rusedski won't thank me for reminding him, but I'm sure he knows in the back of his mind. Last year against Pierlini, he was up 2 sets to love in the 2nd round and lost that match from this sort of position, and also against Todd Martin in '99. So those sort of demons that you've got to try and banish at this stage.
That was an unbelievable match against Todd Martin. Serving for match in the 3rd set, 4-1 up, final set. And then lost something like 19 out of the next 20 points.
15 love.
And then the first time I've ever seen Todd Martin show emotion. He went bananas. High fives all round the stands. Quite incredible.
(15-all). (15-30).
Important miss that by Bjorkman.
30-all.
It's a little bit of a case for some compromise from Bjorkman on the return of serve. He's so aggressive, but just give himself an extra yard and go back. He'll have a little bit more time to set up for the return.
Yeah, he tends to miss returns, I think, on the forehand side. Sometimes hits it too flat. Beautifully placed. Not like a snooker player. So Rusedski's ahead.
2 games to 1.
2 games to 1.
Good couple of service games there from Rusedski early on in the 3rd. It's always a difficult time. You've just suddenly got the 2 sets to love lead. You've really done the hard work, and there's sometimes a tendency just to drop off in the concentration and suddenly go down an early break, and you've undone a lot of the hard work. But he's come out of a couple of tough games. Bjorkman's still fighting very hard.
Well, that's exactly what Tim Henman did in his match, wasn't it? He played beautifully for 2 sets and then just one break of serve, one lapse in concentration, which he'd be the first to admit, and before you know where you are, you're struggling and have to play well again in the 4th set.
Consider Rusedski a pretty good front runner, especially over a 5-set match. I'm surprised to see that, in fact, he's lost 3 matches when he's won the first 2 sets during the course of his career. He's lost at Goran as well after being 2 sets to love up, because you feel in the next 3 sets, somewhere along the line, Rusedski has to get one break, and he's pretty much going to hold on to his serve. And that's what Bjorkman's got to deal with right now, is how mentally tough is Jonas Bjorkman in terms of trying to dig this one out. Rusedski's first serve percentage has dropped away, so there's a glimmer of hope there for Bjorkman. It's down to 59%. Earlier on in the match, it was over 70%, so chances for Bjorkman on the second serve.
He's only had 2 chances to break, hasn't he, in this match? Bjorkman took one of them. Greg's had 5 chances to break and taken 3.
15 love.
Very good, solid overheads he plays. Well, he's now done 5 double faults. I'm very surprised he missed that volley. Straight onto his racket. Just too easy for him.
One of the most impressive things about Rusedski's topspin backhand, I think, in the last couple of matches has been his positioning with his feet. He's getting himself in a great position to actually swing through the ball.
Thought the serve wide, or could have been. Came up and over it too much that time. Timing wrong.
2 games all.
Been a high-quality match between these two. Bjorkman's winners to unforced error ratios, 3 winners really to 1 unforced error, and Rusedski's is 2-1.
How many more chances are you going to give him?
15 love.
Very nearly bent both of them into the court. Starting way outside.
just doesn't have the power these days, Bjorkman, to just fire it past his opponents. He just seems to have lost a few miles an hour on the groundies. Back in '94, when he took out Edberg, it was a stellar performance in 3 sets, and he just doesn't seem to be able to get back to that level.
Another excellent point. Wonderful low volley by this man during it.
Bjorkman's making Rusedski work hard in this set on his serve. But every time he gets to 30-all, Rusedski's coming up with the big serve. And again. 14th ace for Rusedski, and he leads 3-2 in the 3rd set.
Well, these fellows won't know, but the one who wins this will play either Taylor Dent or Zabaleta of Argentina, a very good player indeed, who in fact is leading by 2 sets to love and is at this moment serving for the match and the 3rd round and the privilege of meeting the winner here.
Blood 15.
6th double for Bjorkman. Quite sure what he's trying to have a look at there. That was a fairway long.
Couple of rather angry shots then.
Bjorkman did well there to make the ground up. It was a difficult return and it wasn't going anywhere. He really had to force himself to get there.
Splendid shot, really clever, very low off the deck, soft hands. Just shows it's worth hanging in there, doesn't it?
30-all.
Well, it's points like that that you go on and win the game, and it could ultimately win the match for Rusedski. Bjorkman should be up 40-15 here, but Rusedski will feel as though he's got a golden opportunity now.
He fell off that, didn't get his weight right.
40-30.
Well, It's almost as though he had too much time and too many decisions to make, whether to go for the lob, cross court, down the line. He'd love to have that one back.
Bjorkman.
He lifted his head on that one, I thought, too. Two chances.
3 games on.
Starting just to feel as though Rusedski not getting quite as much on his serve at the moment, and Bjorkman able to get his racket on the ball more often. Evenings, as we well know here in New York, the conditions change quite dramatically.
15 all.
After struggled last night, really being able to get enough kick on his serve.
Wait, please. $30-15. And 40-15.
It's unlucky for Bjorkman, got hold of that serve as well.
Rusedski. Rusedski leads.
So
4 games to
Rusedski
3.
wins that game and leads 4-3, and Zabaleta has won his match. And so the winner of this match will play Zabaleta, who came through 3, 3 and 4, and that's a very good win over Taylor Dent.
This feels like a typical Rusedski set at the moment. Everyone just ticking along on their serve, no one really being able to make the telling breakthrough. And suddenly, as we've seen in the first couple of sets, it gets to the business end of it, and Rusedski's made his move. I'm very impressed with his tennis so far at this year's US Open, and to be honest, I think since Wimbledon he's played some of his most consistent tennis of the year as well. He's lost to Agassi a couple of times and Rafter, and just purely the type of play and the standard of play he's managed to sustain throughout those matches has been very impressive. He is getting back somewhere near his best.
And he had a couple of match points against Agassi, didn't he? Just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, both British guys coming into to this tournament with a lot of confidence. Hemman as well, with match points against Kearton.
4 of them, I read.
Time.
Tough for Bjorkman to be on the receiving end of this sort of quality serving.
Vitally important game this for Bjorkman. Drop it, and Rusedski would be serving for the match. It's a lovely stabbing volley he plays there.
15 love.
Yep, frightened him into an error there. Crucial points for Bjorkman. He's got to stay positive and make no errors. That could have been such an effective shot.
30-15.
He's had a couple of chances in the last couple of games, Rusedski, on that forehand side, and usually very secure on the passing shot as well. We always talk about his serve, but his forehand is one of his big strengths as well.
Not showing any emotion there, any disappointment. Seven double faults now, and a few of those have been at pretty key moments. Well, actually this match is just full of key moments in very high quality.
Great approach shot to the line there from Bjorkman. Greg just having a little look. Didn't get enough on the return, and Bjorkman punished him.
Game Bjorkman.
Missed a few chances there, Rusedski.
4 games all.
And full credit to Jonas Bjorkman for staying very steady in what could have been a critical, absolutely critical game. 4-all.
Just saying there that Bjorkman said wait before Rusedski hit his first serve.
Yep, lovely clearance.
Love 15.
There's a guy that kept the better length in the rally, won the point.
Rather low toss of the ball then. Oh, quality. Serve, volley and passes, all brilliant.
Sums up the match, really.
Love 30.
And he's had half a chance, and he's been allowed to play Bjorkman. He's come up with the goods. Some real pressure on Rusedski right here.
That was a brave serve because it left him open to the cross-court forehand. That's not going to improve Rusedski's morale. I didn't hear a call except from the umpire. Oh, bad luck. I think just wide.
You bet it was. Look at the way Rusedski's walking back.
That was tough on Bjorkman. Brilliant attempt.
I have to say, though, I wasn't sure with the choice of shot on the lob. I mean, he's hit a good quality return. He's got a pushed half volley. If you're confident in that situation, you're just going to rip a forehand past Rusedski. He elected for the lob, and he paid the price.
Legs. First serve.
Well played, Rusedski. You rescued yourself from a very dangerous situation there. And the nose is still in front, and we're approaching the stage where he broke in the other two sets. He's up 5-4.
Rusedski leads 5 games to 4.
Well, this is a much tougher situation for Jonas Bjorkman than it is for Craig Rusedski, who is 2 sets to love up and 5-4 up, having had the privilege of serving first in each set. Looking very, very fit, I think, Rusedski. Strong, and it was in a situation just like this, except it was 6-5 in the other 2 sets, where Rusedski struck. Now it's 4-5.
Love 50.
That's what he does, I'm afraid. Jonas, he does react to a pressure situation, sometimes adversely. It makes 8 double faults. Rather pitiful lob there from Rusedski.
15 all.
Just fodder for the smash. Yep, frightened into error again. That deadly two-fisted backhand of his, when it's under pressure, in a pressure situation, can fail. In 2 points, this match could end. Rusedski resorting to the lob. Where was that roll backhand cross court?
Got himself a little tucked up on the return as well. It wasn't the greatest second serve, and Rusedski was trying to run round it. Didn't perhaps make a big enough commitment earlier on. As you say, Bill, looking for that backhand pass rather than the lob.
He's getting fed second serves. Where's the frightening factor? Where's the trip and charge? Well, there it is, ultimately, and it's brought him match point. The old trusty formula, that slice down the line, makes the ball keep low. It's a tough one to receive and pass with, as Bjorkman found then. Here's a point for round 3. With a marvellous serve and a nerveless smash.
Rusedski had already picked, hadn't he? Because Bjorkman hit that serve right onto the line, but Greg was there with some time, but couldn't do anything really with the return. Watched it well. Never easy when you've gone from a blue sky into a dark sky we have now.
Oh, that's terrific. Bjorkman celebrates in his usual way with a clenched fist.
Advantage Bjorkman.
It's a good point from Rusedski. Did everything right. Drags Bjorkman out there, gets good length on this approach shot. It's just too good from the Swede.
Oh, golly.
Deuce.
I wouldn't put that one down to nerves. I'd put that down to the running he's done in this game. It's probably a bit puffed. Now he's got to do it all again from deuce. More second serves coming. And that was a beautiful backhand from Rusedski. My word, what an advance he's made in that department.
Advantage Rusedski.
Really was. And again, when it matters, that's been the most important factor in this match. It's been a tough match. A few opportunities, but Rusedski really played the big points well.
No bigger point than this one. Second match point. Didn't have to do much to win that one.
Deuce.
Measured first volley from Bjorkman, made sure he got it onto the Rusedski backhand. Asked the question.